Colin Schumacher, great kid. If you're curious, this right here, I don't actually know his real name. I'm gonna be honest, no one in the club knows his real name. I have looked for him on every database I could think of. I went to the library. I asked this guy named Duncan, I was like, how do you look up people? And he was like, well, give me the name. And I was like, that's the thing. So this is a hair clip. So the first time this kid came to the comedy club, he had a little clip in his hair to tuck his hair back. So I just started calling him Hair Clip because he never gave me a name. So I was like, all right. But then he got a haircut. So I was like, well, there's no more need for the hair clip, so we're just gonna start calling him Haircut. And he is sitting up here tonight because I let him. So if you are curious of why he's here, I don't have an answer for you. Anyway, so our next contestant, great kid. He is a former movie theater worker. Fabulous guy. He is an improver, actually, and this is one of his first times doing stand-up. So give it up for Ryan Corrigan.
I'm a theater kid. I don't need this. Is Elijah still here? All right. Hi, I'm Ryan, and I worked a dead-end job with no possible future. And no, I was not the guy at the zoo picking up the elephant shit. But working at a movie theater, you get to see some very interesting things, that's for sure. Like getting called a racist for literally sitting there just doing your job. So I'm just sitting there at the spot where, you just take people's tickets. And so we let the woman into the theater with her kids, and she leaves with no intention of coming back. And she let her kids go see Insidious 2. And note, these kids were not the right age to see a rated R movie without their parents. So I tell the security guard goes, yes, and they come back. She comes back, and I'm just gonna act this out, and you'll get the picture in your head, and you'll probably be spot on. What are you doing with my kids there? This guy bought the tickets for that movie, you better let them back in there. You know what? I know what this is. Y'all racist. And then her husband comes along like, honey, you can't pull the race card again. And then another thing with working at the movie theater, it was in Vegas as well. No, and since this is Nevada, where everything's a casino and has gambling and a bar, it was lucky if you worked the closing shift and you didn't get a drunk person coming through. Drunk person comes in and just, can I have some popcorn? Butter, let me tell you a story about clean up in aisle 12. All right. Another thing with those rated R movies, it's one thing if you're a parent, you take them to go see a horror movie or some of those comedy movies where they're always cursing. But if you're a parent, why in the world would you take your freshman in high school daughter and her friends to go see Magic Mike of all movies? Where, I kid you not, at this theater, the women who go see the movie are literally, you just hear whooping and hollering from inside the theater about a movie with guys wagging their dicks around. So I asked a woman, what's so good about this movie? It's like, oh, it's a great movie if you just take out all of the story. It's like, isn't that what makes it a movie? Otherwise, it just belongs in Pornhub or some XXX store. And then also in high school, I was a theater kid. And now before you put the stereotype on, and I'm not gonna burst out singing show tunes here. But also with me doing theater, I got into improv, and I learned very quickly that I was pretty good at improv because all you have to do to be good at improv is go up on stage and make a fool of yourself. And I had a natural talent for that. So then from that, I got into improv, which then leads into stand-up. And then when I start watching some stand-up comedians, it led me to shows like America's Got Talent. You watch shows like that, and you're like, There are people who can fold themselves up, put themselves in a suitcase, and then open the suitcase back up and they're not there. There's comedians who go on that show and win. There's no one in the suitcase. The guy who tells funny jokes about how he's a Jew and hasn't gotten laid before. Or the guy with the stutter. Meanwhile, the people off stage, the magician is like pulling tissues out of his ear to blow his nose and wipe away the tears. And the mind reader's just over there like, this isn't right, this isn't at all what I saw. Thank you.